Hi, everybody. It's Barry here again from Turning the Page. It's so good to be with you again, whether you're listening on a podcast or watching this on YouTube or wherever it's got shared. So good to be with you again. Hey, I was recently talking with someone about, the struggles in their life, and we'd actually we had walked many a mile together over many years. And as we talked, I asked if they remembered how they were like 5 years ago, and and they considered it like they saw a lot of progress. And actually, we rated some of the feelings. So, sort of 5 years ago, it was like 9 out of 10 for the struggle, but now it was like 2 out of 10. And they looked at me and with a sense of realization that things had actually changed, and some of the issues they faced back then really actually hadn't changed that much, but many of them had. And from this, they took an incredible, great deal of encouragement. And I did too, because, it's really good to see progress, isn't it? Uh, for them, the deepest parts of the journey had not been seen by many. They didn't really want others to know, but there were a few special people, such as myself, that they had let in into their private dark hole. In my eyes, they were a superhero. Very few went where they went. And now they were strong in ways unimaginable a few years ago. Strong in the sense that they probably didn't see it themselves, but they built a real inner strength, which was incredible. Have you ever been to a forest and like you're in this dark, deep, dark forest, and all you see are the trees, the obstacles, and maybe like a little faint little path to follow, and your attention absolutely gets consumed by what is around you, all around you, the trees, the obstacles, the darkness, and you forget about how far you've come. Sure, you might feel it in your body, those aches and pains, but all you know is the depth and the darkness of the forest. That is until you climb a hill or there's like a break in the trees, and you can look back and you can see how far you've come, and you're amazed at the progress from placing just basically one foot in front of another, 1 millimeter at a time. That's one of my familiar themes. And there's a saying, you can't see the forest for the trees, but I would also say you can't see the progress for the trees. The depth of the depth of the present struggle is can be so all-consuming that there is no pause to take in the wonder of where you've come from. See, I believe a champion walks alongside us. We need a champion, and we'll just discuss what that means later on. But someone who walks alongside us, and invites us to take a break, have a sip of water, and look back and celebrate the progress. And I think it's so important to have people in our lives that in various ways can lift us out of the daily battle with the trees, the brush, and the weeds. And they point out how far we have come, and they offer a perspective about where we're going. And then it's back into the millimetre by millimetre bush bashing through the shrubbery of weeds and wilderness. One of the features of many people's journey is loneliness. You feel that there is no one with you, and possibly you might have friends and family, but there you are with your happy mask because you don't want anyone else to know the deep struggle you're going through. So you're alone. You may have reached out, been dismissed, felt overlooked and disregarded. No one gets you. You wonder why you're so self-focused. Isn't that selfishness? Surely others have it worse off than you. Maybe they do. But actually you don't know. Your journey is your journey. And you trudge on seeing the trees, the weeds, and the struggles. Now, there's a really interesting little verse in the book of Psalms, and it says that God places the lonely in families. Now, this is not so much a family of mum, dad, and kids. More so, it is what I call a nest of relationships where we can call home. See, I have a champion in my family nest. Actually, I might have more than one, to be truthful. This is not someone who has a big, shiny winner's cup, but more so someone who desires to champion me. And in this sense, a champion is someone who supports or defends a person or a cause. So think of these champions. So Martin Luther King, well, he championed the civil rights movement. Nelson Mandela, the anti-apartheid movement. Kate Shepherd, famous New Zealander, she championed the women's suffragette movement here in New Zealand, and New Zealand was the first country to have women vote. Amazing. Think about Bill Sinclair and his support of John Bishop. What about Mary Smith and her commitment to her friend Jenny Bertland? Now, you probably don't know the last two champions' names on that list. Actually, I don't know them either. They are fictitious. I made them up. But you probably do know people like them. People who walk alongside someone and encourages them when they can't see the forest for the trees. They can't see the progress for the weeds. You see, I think we all need a mental health chaplain, a champion. I recently had a champion share some very kind words with me. It filled my heart like a breath of fresh air fills the lungs. And I sucked it in deep. And they weren't trite words. Instead, they were words crafted out of a known awareness of being in a similar battle themselves. They knew the walk, and so could talk the walk. I needed that. Into the pool room, my encouragement journal with those words, and if you really need to read the post, The Pool Room, because it refers back to an Australian movie called The Castle, and there was this character on it, and whenever he got a gift, he was so amazed and wonderful, he'd say, "This is going straight into the pool room." And often that's what I do with those encouraging words that people might say to me. I put them straight into the pool room, which is my encouragement journal. You see, I believe we all need people who regularly come alongside us and pour words of life into those dry and parched areas of our souls. People who have taken the time to watch and listen. Friends who will champion us as a person of great worth and value. See, we need more Bills and Marys to walk alongside John and Jenny's. Champions. We have a mental health crisis, and I believe much of it could be addressed by people learning how to walk and talk. Sharing some wisdom, crying together, laughing, reflecting on the progress made in life, because there were simple conversations and words of encouragement. And I wonder, what would happen if all of us would say to one other person, "I want to walk and talk with you and be your champion"? Hey, here's some quotes for you to consider. The word encouragement has its root in the Latin word cor, which literally means heart. So does the word courage. To have courage means to have heart. To encourage, to provide with or give courage, literally means to give others heart. That is such a powerful thought, When we encourage, we're actually speaking heart into the other person. And that was from two writers, James Kurz and Barry Posner. This is from Terence Real. Research tells us that the capacity to reach out to others for help in dealing with fear and pain is the best single remedy for emotional injury. Whether the person is struggling with the effects of combat, rape, or childhood injury, the best predictor of trauma resolution, is good social support. Get that? Good social support. Good social support. People walking alongside. Good old C.S. Lewis, he said that friendship is... that was from Terence Real. Good old C.S. Lewis, he said that friendship is born at that moment when one person says to another, "What? You too? I thought I was the only one." And this quote, "Don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Walk beside me and just be my friend." Albert Camus. And our chief want is someone who will inspire us to be what we could be, and that was from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Mother Teresa says that kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. Loneliness is the first thing which God's eye named not good. John Milton. And I love this quote from Les Mis by Victor Hugo, and the priest in the story tells us, "There is a soul yonder which is lonely." And he added, deep in his own mind, "I owe him a visit." Larry Crabb says that real encouragement occurs when words are spoken from a heart of love to another's recognised fear. And Desmond Tutu said that hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. Some questions. Who has been a champion for you? Who has come along and said those words of encouragement? Number 2, what are the qualities of a good champion? And number 3, are you able to look back and see the progress? So that's this week's post, and if you'd like to talk to me about it, I'd just love to hear from my readers and my watchers and my listeners. So it's barry@turningthepage.co.nz, and big thank you to everyone who supports what I'm doing here via Patreon or various other ways. If you want to be part of that community, I'd really love to have you on the team. Come over to turningthepage.co.nz/support, and I look forward to speaking with you next week, and I hope that you can be a champion to someone that you know and give them some really healthy perspective on the journey. Okay, bye.